So this is part 2 of 4 for the deadlift blueprint manual on how you can master your deadlift from start to finish. If you're coming from part 1, welcome back. If you're not and you're new here, make sure you go back to see part 1 or just grab yourself the manual down below in the description. It's completely free. So we're not going to deadlift yet. That's the next part. This is learning the movement pattern, which is probably the most important part, because if you skip this step, then when you go to do your deadlift, you're not going to do it properly with the right muscles that you want to work. So we're going to learn how to hinge, just a fancy term of saying pushing your butt back, leaning over. There are a few ways you can learn the hinge. I will show you 3 ways you can do it. You can incorporate it as a warm-up, or it can even be an exercise for you right now to actually work the hamstring muscles to get this strong enough for the actual deadlift. The first hinge exercise is with a ball. You can use a medicine ball, you can use a basketball. I've used a box before. What you want to do is put that ball up against your chest. You want to lean over and push your hips back as far as you can and lean over with the torso, keeping your back straight. Once you can't push your butt back any further, just stand up tall, squeeze your butt as if someone is trying to poke their finger up your butthole. Don't let them do it. Do 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps for these. The second exercise to learn the hinge is using a kettlebell. You want to put the kettlebell behind your back and pretend as if you're being handcuffed with your hands together. And from there, you're just pushing the kettlebell back as far back as you can. Same amount of sets and reps, 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. The third exercise to learn the hinge is with a stick. You can use a PVC pipe or just a stick that's long enough that will reach your butt and your head. So you put one hand behind your head, one hand behind your back, so one palm is facing away from you, which is the one on your lower back. And from there, you want to make sure the stick stays in contact with your butt, your head, and your hand stays on your body. And from there, same thing. You're leaning over, pushing your butt back. Once you can't go back any further, stand up tall, squeeze the butt, 2 to 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps of these. You're going to feel your hamstrings working, and for some of you, this will be your main deadlift exercise for now. You're not going to deadlift yet until you get this movement pattern down. This is even more important than being able to touch your toes. If you can't get the hinge down properly and correct, you won't be able to do a proper deadlift without hurting your back in the future. So that's part 2 of 4 for the deadlift blueprint manual, and now we will go into part 3 where you will learn how to do the deadlift with the equipment you have available.